How many in this room arrived here with a zero net emissions, zero carbon? You didn't walk without breathing. Did you fly here or drive?
I flew here from Boston.
Okay, so would you have gotten here if there was no petrochemical industry as it is today?
No.
Thank you. Ms. Lamb, how did you get here?
I took a flight at request of Congress.
Okay, so you flew using some of that evil Exxon oil or bad Chevron JP4 or whatever it was. How about you? How did we get here from California?
Yeah, Mr. Issa, like you, I flew here from California.
Okay, so would you all agree that today the oil and gas industry is essential to our very existence, welfare, and way of life? Today. Are any of you going to disagree with that? I'll give you the floor if you're going to say no, we could shut it off today. So knowing that it's essential today, and I'll go to CalPERS next, you've basically said you're cutting off investments, period, and encouraging others through your process to cut off investments with virtually all oil and natural gas companies, including Chevron, based right in California, correct?
We are still fully invested in the oil and gas companies that we invest in. It's part of a diversified portfolio. And for us, we won't tell companies how to navigate the energy transition.
Then why are you discouraging others from making those investments and limiting the available capital for those companies?
Every investor makes their decision.
No. I'm asking why you're making look, you're part of what has been up until now a very opaque organization that in fact leverages, pushes, prods, embarrassed, whatever term you want to use, people to not make investments in what is currently an essential part of what makes our life worth living in this country and around the world. So I asked you the question. If it's a good investment, why is it you're discouraging others?
So CalPERS is one of the most transparent pension organizations
in the
world.
Are you invested in any lawsuits in which you are not disclosed as an investor at the time of the filing of those lawsuits?
I'm an investor, not a lawyer, so I can't speak to what.
Well, let me tell you, your organization has been actively opposing any kind of third-party litigation transparency because you do invest, at least it's been reported and we believe it to be true, you do invest in third-party litigation. In other words, suing people but not wanting your name on it. Why? Well, because it's profitable, right? And you know about the profits. So I'm going to reiterate, have you, to the best of your knowledge, received any revenue as a result of investing in litigation?
Again, I'm not an attorney, but
I'm not asking an attorney question. I'm asking an investor question.
Has
CalPERS received any money by investing in what was the monies that were used or a contract which was used to create litigation on which you profited from a return if they prevailed?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, so you run investments, but you don't know if CalPERS participates. Let me ask one final question, because Mr. Massey and I have something in common, which is we spent our careers in engineering and a lot less in law. So antitrust is kind of an acquired knowledge for us. For each of you, if 2 or 3 companies were to share their prices or their strategy for pricing or how they went to market with another competitor, would that be an antitrust violation? I know you're not a lawyer.
As I've said before, I'm an investor, not a lawyer.
Ms. Lamb,
I'm not an antitrust
right, but
expert.
the basic definition that you'd have to pass the bar with is that sharing information between competitors inherently puts you in jeopardy of antitrust, particularly if that information allows effectively coordination of prices or other activities, including investment activities. Wouldn't that be true?
I really don't understand the premise of what you're saying. What we're doing, and the reason that is we're investing our clients' capital for the long term, upholding our fiduciary duty.
Oh, you're investing for the long term. Do you sell stock on a quarterly or annual basis?
We rebalance our portfolios.
Okay, so you buy and sell regularly. So when you say long-term, the reality is you both do long-term and short-term. And if something's a good investment today, you have a fiduciary obligation to consider it. And so I'm going to close with this, Mr. Chairman. You know, everyone talks about risk. There is zero risk today in investing in the oil and natural gas industry. There's zero risk because for the foreseeable future, we are going to need it, and we're going to need more. Yes, we need it to be as clean as it possibly can, but the transition away from fossil fuels has been predicted for decades, and in fact, it is nowhere close. So as you say that you're making investment decisions, it is clear you're making investment decisions based on your politics and not on the best interest of national security or the welfare of the American people.